It's more like talking about more or less the ecosystem of Silicon Valley, a bit of history that I have no idea before coming here. Maybe you have no idea. I hope it's useful for you. And also, I wanted to talk about something useful to maybe some startups that are at the beginning. And it's about the investment and investors and a bit of difference between Spain and the USA. So, 3 questions to start with. Why all the modern companies are here? Why everyone who considers itself an entrepreneur come here? And why do most of well, not all, because obviously if all of the companies would grow so fast, everyone would be here. That's not true. That's also something to say. You already know. This presentation might help somebody that doesn't know about this. Okay, so yeah, so this is like more or less the background of the. Okay, the first step of the history is Golden Rush. It's not that in the Golden Rush Mark Zuckerberg's dad was born or something like that. It's that in the Golden Rush there was a movement to California because there was gold found. So after that, California became state, famous state, and then with the World War II, it's here in the background of the picture. We can say that Silicon Valley starts. And why is that? The World War II is considered like, not in Hollywood films, but in real life, as like electronic war. If you think about it, all the guns, airplanes, aircrafts, bombs, radars, everything must have a big electronic development. And if it's a bad development, the other country might beat you in this sector and you are done. That's why it's very important the research done and all the incentives of the government here in this field. So I would like to talk about Termin. Well, it was an A. It was supposed to correct it, but it's an A. Termin. Frederick Terman, who is who worked in the labs of MIT during the war, researching and developing the radars. As this is a very cool fight. If you want to know more about this, you can watch the Steve Blank. You know about this guy. He's a very important guy in Silicon Valley. I'm sure you know about him. If you don't know, make research yourself. And this guy has a video in his own page, it's steveblank.com. All the references are at the end of the presentation, so you can jot them down. So there is a video called The Secret History of Silicon Valley, and he gets deeply into these things. And after this research in these labs about the radars and why the Germans had this line of radars and why did they know where was the airplane of the Americans and British and why did they shoot them and how was all distributed. Well, all this research was done in the MIT labs with very top secret labs that were told a few years after, quite a lot of few years after. And then after the war, focusing on the crisis because of all the money wasted in the war, he took his team from these labs to the Stanford, and then he started here the big research and to be the best country and to have the best developments in all weapons in case there's another war coming. So here starts the big development of microwaves. You see Silicon Valley is the start of microwaves and the development. That's why we now have these good technologies about microwaves. And also I would like to talk about the government, because the government was quite interested in making incentives to all these things, because really it was a matter of state, of country. So they really were quite a lot of creation. So then through the students that were encouraged to make companies, we can say that Silicon Valley starts. So first engine of entrepreneurship in Silicon Valley is military finance. Because all I said about these incentives of the government and focusing on developing new technologies, all companies, all defense companies became were launched these days, and it's not till 1970s till the venture funding starts increasing and are higher than military finance. I'm not saying that military finance has had their exit; they are still on, but not as much as venture finance. Now, if you can see the graphs, it was quite difficult to take these graphs from these guys, all like very well, with very good security in his slideshare. You can watch this in his slideshare also. And there is some graph that shows how it's growing with years, the venture finance, venture fundings. It's amazing how it raises in 5 years, it raises like billions easily. And that's more or less the background and the good line of what is going on here. So, very important in Silicon Valley is Stanford, as I said before, and I want to talk about this now. Stanford is the philosophy of Silicon Valley. All the students that are in Stanford, we can say, are the engine. Well, you guys are the engine of Silicon Valley, but Stanford is the engine of loads of students that goes there and gets inspired by the professors and has the courage to innovate and make and change the world. That's the thing, change the world. So I would like to tell an example about this inspirational and creative teaching with Tina Siddick. I went last week with these guys to Stanford to a tour. And we stopped in the library. I found, I wanted all the books in the library. I wanted this library at my home, but that was not possible. I saw this book, and the name is What I Wish I Knew When I Was 20. So I bought it and I started reading it. There's an example quite interesting about this inspirational teaching and creative teaching. She made a case class where she gave $5 bill to each student, and then with this $5 bill, they must do something big. So what the students realized with this, it was not that they had $5 bills, but that they have nothing. So with nothing, make something big. That's like the implicit idea. So what were the assets of these students? They had $5 bills, the envelope. They are not going to use the envelope, but they had the envelope. And they also have 3 minutes presentation on Monday to tell the project. So there are some examples of students that raised the biggest amount of money. A team of students went to the famous restaurants and they just queued up, and when they were about to have their place, they just sold it by $20 to the last one. So that's a way of earning money very easily. Another team went to a gas station, near a gas station, and give the facilities to the people to revise the wheels of the bikes and just fill them there and revising with $1, only $1. What happened? They were not earning lots of money, so they decided to put it as volunteer. Yeah, you can give them whatever you want. A voluntad.
Donation based, yeah.
Donations, yeah. So then it started raising lots of money with the donation because people were not like pressed to give any amount of money. They could give whatever, so they give $5 for example. Those are good examples, but the best example is that some team, the only team, realized that they had best assets, and the great asset was the 3 minutes presentation. So they hired this 3 minutes presentation to a company who was acquiring students from Stanford. So they raised the biggest amount of money ever. So that was a great example. she decided after this project, she changed the project because she didn't want to make all students have always the incentive of making money with ideas. You can make different things with ideas. So she gave clips once, and people became like wanted to make some, for example, like Guinness record with clips. It's like the idea of making something big with nothing. This creative incentive and teaching is not everywhere. It's here in Silicon Valley and in great Stanford. I also want to wrap the innovation about this solar car project we saw 2 weeks ago. We went to Stanford to see the presentation of a solar car. It was amazing. They are going now to Australia to compete. They're going to go through the whole country. And they were students from, well, we are 20-year-old students, as you might not know and you might not believe, but we are 20-year-old students, and they all were from our age. And we couldn't just not believe how could they just make this solar car. It was amazing. You just go through the internet and stanford.edu, you will see this about this project. It's amazing, and people from different faculties, not only engineering, mechanical engineering, but also historian, the historic faculty or the economic faculty. What the heck is doing this guy here? Well, maybe it's not all engineering, it's also how to communicate, marketing, because they raised like $1 million from sponsors and companies to make this project happen. That's amazing. That's all another thing that is only here, not everywhere. And something to say about Stanford is not only the idea and how beautiful it is, it's real life. It's really true. You can see the alumni. These students from Stanford are spread throughout the world through 143 countries. And you can see some academic leaders, like the Harvard president or Yale president, in business, Google, Hewlett-Packard, PayPal, Nike, Yahoo. Google started here, and all the servers started here. Before being Google.com was Google.stanford.edu. So it's amazing. Also in government, Hoover president. I was quite impressed about this, but then Eli he took away the impress because he was not that big.
Not a great president.
He was a US president. Then Supreme Court justices, president of Peru, of course, and also some prime ministers from Japan. No, the science engineering, as I said, about microwave technology was the pioneer studies and research. Then some Nobel Prize winners, physics, chemistry. You can see, well, I have this link here, the bottom of Opinno, but internet doesn't work. Let's see.
Yeah.
Here you can see more about this. Athletics, business, government, science, security, writing, lots more. So, okay, this was not a good idea because I've done this having the whole thing. See. Okay. So, this research and innovation, you can see this email security, Google, what I said before, and as I said in the solar car project, the students are really involved in the research. I said, it's real. It's not like theoretical and from fields. No, it's real. Okay, something that I get. I go now to Spain, and some things that we get is the environment from this place, like the attitude of everyone, like the open mind attitude, being nice to everybody, emailing the CEO of whatever company, and you can manage to have this meeting with him. And for example, we have this social network in Spain called 20. I don't know if you have an idea. It's like a copy of Facebook in Spain. It's quite a lot of success. So we're going to meet tomorrow one of the founders, and we are quite excited about this. But he was excited of meeting us. It's amazing. So the attitude, the value from the idea, the friendly environment here. All you meet everyone here, and it's so different as in Spain.
That's the heritage.
Starting with the clothing. The first time we came here with our shirts, the trousers, like black trousers, and then all of you with these t-shirts, and we were amazed. This is good, or is this like, the behavior here? No, I think the good were us. So also about this being open to other ideas, and companies like Opinno many companies helping people to develop and to get better, and all the people with one goal, innovation. So I now talking about VCs that capitals mostly invest here. And as you can see in this chart, as I said before, all the references are at the end of this slide. So it's California, 50% of all the investments are in California, but more in concrete, well, Silicon Valley. 8,548.9 million dollars invested in 2010. So, quick look at the investment. You will know more than me, but this is what I learned here. This is very important is to know your budget. First thing is your budget, and this is more. It's not only more than 1 million and less than 1 million, of course, but it's kind of difference between when I go to an angel or when I go to a VC, more or less. So when the project is less than 1 million, of course you go to an angel because venture capital will start looking at your eyes when you have a project with more than 1 million euro budget. So what are the things that an investor is looking for? All these things, I just jotted down while I was watching a video from Luis Martin Cavieres. He's the top 5 business angels in Madrid, in Spain. And that's what he says, and that's what I said. I will say that. About the future. The investor is always looking about the future of the company. If this company is going to get big, then he dares to. If it's not going to be like nothing, you just let him go. He's looking really about this future of the company. The market. He is very good market research and having clearly market, not like with any doubts and anything. Competitors. You have to know exactly who are your competitors. If the investor finds out one competitor you didn't find, you are lost because he will think you're not as good to run a company. So, and another thing he said, if there is no competitors, think about it. It's difficult now with the internet worldwide. It's difficult not to have a single company doing the same thing as you. So make some questions if you didn't find any competitors. Another thing very important is the team. Because if you haven't been able to convince anyone to follow you, you're not going to be able to convince anyone, like to make something believable. No. Also the timing, not too early but not too late. It's the timing. Like, don't make this company and expect something will happen. Things must be done, but not too early and not too late. Also the investor, I didn't know that, it's quite interesting. The investor is always, when he's talking to you, he's at the same time thinking, when is he going to be out of your company? How is he going to be exiting the company? It's quite interesting. So, why being here in the USA and not being in Madrid? Madrid is nice weather, nice girls, good nightlife. What happens here in the USA? You have the market. You are launching a product in a huge country where you have maybe different policies between states. But it's easier to expand your product in the country. If you expand your product in Spain, okay, it's great. But then you have Portugal and France as neighbors that will change policies and make it much difficult to expand through them. We are in Europe, but Europe is not a country. Many people would like to be Europe to be a country, but it's not a country. The US, it is a country. It's a huge place to expand your product. That's something to think about. So, I'm not saying you must come here always, you can go to Spain also. And nowadays it's a bit difficult, so you guys might help us a bit. So, the difference between USA and Spain. Here, there are much long before, after Spain. It's much done. In Spain, lots of things must be done. For example, in Spain, there are not pretty much business angels, so that's why there are not as much startups. Because if you go to this venture capital called in Spain capital riesgo, you need some time to know this word. They will be looking for a budget, bigger budget, I said before, like 1 million or maybe. So that's the difference. In Spain, there are not much business angels as here. I will give afterwards a big list of the top 10 here. There's loads of business angels here. Actually, there's the top 5 in which you can trust are 5. 5, 6, maybe 10, but not more than 10 in Spain. Good ones. And also that in USA they see your design model team. In Spain they are looking more than for your business plan, but they go deeply into the business plan, not as you. It's more than you can do not what you want right now. You're a bit tighter in Spain. So, stages about this investment. I have this product, who should I talk with? So, 3 Fs, spouse, friends, and families. And then the business angel. You don't have these friends, family, or fools who will raise the money, go to the business angel. And then, when the revenues starts, then you go to the VC. And sometimes you need to expand your company, you go to the private equity. This is when you're entering the stock market usually. So this is more or less the stages, very quick view, but I don't want to bother you anymore. So I go a bit faster, and just some things I have in mind now. If someday I want to make my company, before nothing research, like market competition, product, and the development. And something also said by an angel in a video I found. As I said, afterwards I will tell you which video is it. You have no time to convince the investor. If you don't convince in the first 3 minutes, you are done. Your company has no investment. So you must be very careful with this. Your business cards, small video presentation, if everything well explained. The website that includes financial information, executive summary, business plan, everything. So that's more or less the idea. And I will show you the top 10 angel investors in the US. Okay. If you want to hear this information, I can send you by email. All this have a name. I actually don't know it in memory. I'll have them here. For instance, Ocean Tech Angel Funds, Tech Coast Angels, Investor Cycle, Golden Seeds, LLC, and North Coast Angel Fund. All of them are throughout the US. In San Francisco is this Investor Cycle. And they have like 225 angels. It's more or less the idea. You cannot find this chart in Spain. It's not like the top 10, but you can see the number of angels in this agency. 136, 133, 282. That's the difference. So after that, I just thank you for your attention, and wanted to say this phrase from David Rice: don't be in a rush to get big, be in a rush to have a great product. Eric Rios, the lean startup. And also, thank you for your polite attention to people who know a lot less than you guys, and the 3 of us. So here you are. Thank you. And here you have this alumni data, the universities, the US stats.